The Orange and Ginger Soapy Shampoo, A Bubble's Journey by Pamela James, narrated by Terry Clark Linden. Episode 1. Meet Emmy and Lumi. A long time ago, Amelia's great-great-grandmother Ida Bell had a big problem. Her daughter Emma had a very itchy scalp. Ida Bell wanted to help, so she tried every remedy. Nothing worked. Emma itched and itched. Ida Bell would not give up. She would make her own special shampoo. She tried many different ingredients, even yucky ones that smelled terrible. Then Ida Bell mixed pure olive oil, the juice of freshly squeezed oranges, and bits of ginger. Last but not least, she added 2 very special ingredients: a dash of laughter and a generous portion of love, more love, and love times 2. This orange and ginger soapy shampoo was very special indeed, because it was created with all the ingredients love and miracles are made of. Inside each jar was more laughter and love than a playground of sugar-filled children, a hummingbird song, and warm chocolate chip cookies all put together. But the most special things of all were the colorful bubbles, tiny, big, small, and enormous, and super-duper huge ones too. They were strong, beautiful, and lasted longer than any other bubbles ever made. This very special soapy stuff was passed down from generation to generation, down to the present time, when the great-great-granddaughter of Ida Bell, Amelia, had a very itchy scalp too. Her mama Isabel made the orange and ginger soapy shampoo stuff too. Pure olive oil, the juice of freshly squeezed oranges, and bits of ginger. And last but not least, she added 2 special ingredients: a dash of laughter and generous portions of love, more love, and love times 2. One Saturday morning, Amelia's scalp was very itchy. As Mama washed Amelia's hair in the kitchen sink, 2 big bubbles rose from the sudsy mess on top of Amelia's head and floated out the window on a gentle wind. The bubbles seemed to dance to the music of the hanging wind chimes and floated out the window and out of sight. These 2 adventurous bubbles were Magellan Estefan, nicknamed Emmy, and his best friend Luminous, nicknamed Lumi, 2 amazing bubbles on their way to an exciting journey. Emmy and Lumi were amazing because instead of just popping like ordinary bubbles, these 2 bubbles were made of magical, super strong orange and ginger soapy shampoo stuff. Emmy was an adventurous, extra lathered bubble, and Lumi was bubbly and glad. Emmy was a leader and an explorer. He was brave and curious. When he was a very young sud, he would say, "I want to explore the world." Lumi was a shining light and a great friend. He glowed luminously. That is how he got his name. But nothing shone brighter than his devotion to Emmy, and he stuck to him like glue. He decided to explore the world with Emmy, as that is what amazing friends do. Adventure was never far from Emmy's mind. Emmy said to Lumi, "I want to travel the world and make people laugh. I want to visit the Eiffel Tower in the City of Lights and see the tall, pretty lady in New York City. I want to meet Bright Bubble and Blue Bubble and then come home again." Bright Bubble and Blue Bubble were actually the sun and moon. Emmy thought the sun and moon were bubbles because they were just as round as any bubble could be, always off on adventures and never popped like ordinary bubbles. So Emmy thought neither should he. Emmy called the sun Bright Bubble because it was soft and orange in the early morning hours, then bright and yellow in the middle of the day. Emmy also loved the Blue Bubble because sometimes during the night, this interesting bubble would change its shape. Blue Bubble could take the form of a boomerang or become a half bubble at times, and Emmy tried to imitate him. Emmy noticed all the trees and flowers would lean towards Bright Bubble and grow taller. Birds would sing beautiful songs when he was around. Emmy guessed Bright Bubble told the birds to sing in order to wake the people and let them know it was time to start the day. Bright Bubble always had a place to go but was never in a hurry. Bright Bubble would stroll across the sky. At the end of the day, Emmy loved to watch Bright Bubble set because his rays of light were so bright. When Bright Bubble went away for the night, Blue Bubble would come to sit in the night sky. Emmy was determined to live his dreams and do everything he set out to do. He was made of magical, super strong orange and ginger soapy shampoo stuff. He knew he and Lumi would make their trip and do what they had to do, and so much more. Their chance finally came on that Saturday morning. A gentle wind blew in from the kitchen window, and Mama was about to wash Amelia's hair. Emmy called to Lumi, "Let's go!" They moved to the top of the jar. "When the jar leans to pour, aim for the water. Take a big gulp, and then follow me out the window," he said. They were free. They landed briefly on Amelia's head, glided under the running water, each taking a generous sip, and floated out the window, allowing the gentle wind to lift them higher. The world was so big, and they were only in the backyard. Ahead stood a cherry blossom tree with light pink petals almost in full bloom, with a swing attached to a low-hanging branch. They rode Gentle Wind and laughed happily as they floated through the backyard. But there was a problem. Gentle Wind was going the wrong way. Attracted to the beauty of the cherry blossom tree, as all winds are, Gentle Wind moved towards the vision of loveliness. Emmy and Lumi knew they were in danger. They were super strong, but if they got caught up in the petals, they could pop. Gentle Wind moved too quickly, and the two bubbles called to him to stay clear of the tree. "Hey, Gentle Wind, we do not want to go that way," Emmy called out. "We might pop before we even go on an adventure and explore the world," Lumi yelled. Gentle Wind didn't hear the bubbles yelling because he was so fascinated by the cherry blossom tree. He only heard, "Go on an adventure and explore the world." He liked the two bubbles and wanted to drift along and carry them on their journey. But first, he wanted the bubbles to brush through the cherry blossom tree with him. Gentle Wind slowed as he neared the tree so he could rustle the petals. As he went gently through, the petals began to laugh. To any human listening, it simply sounded like petals blowing briskly in the wind. Emmy and Lumi liked the sound of laughing petals and wanted to stay, but they had so many other things to explore. They said their goodbyes to Gentle Wind, but he wasn't listening, and instead the wind blew around, enjoying the laughter of the petals. "Goodbye, wind!" they both yelled. Emmy and Lumi floated away from the gentle wind and were on their way. It was time for their amazing adventure to begin. Continue the adventure. Gentle Wind and Beelzebub, the pesky pest.